Hello and welcome back to the Get Well With Me podcast. I'm your host, Adrienne from adriennehart.com, and we're talking about all things health and wellness with a major emphasis on healthy mindset and learning to use the power of our subconscious mind to live the life that we want to have and have the health and vitality, the body, and the emotional well being, just the whole package. So let's get right into it. I want to share with you my introduction into hypnosis and how I learned about the power of self hypnosis and some of the applications that I've been able to apply it to in my own life. So, going way back to 1999. Yeah, I think it was 1999. My sister needed to get braces on, but she was terrified to go to the dentist. She had been banned for, freaking out and like kicking, kicking the dentist. So we didn't know how we were ever going to overcome getting a cavity filled and any work that had to be done to get these braces on. She didn't let anyone kind of go near her mouth. And I shared my concern with an acquaintance of mine, and she said, "Oh, dental fears. My mom helps with those all the time." And I was like, "Well, how does she do that?" She said, "Oh, well, she's a hypnotherapist." So we made an appointment for the hypnotherapist, and I took my sister. She was immediately cured. It was ridiculous. I mean, she went to the dentist without any um, resistance and without any Novocaine or any drugs, and she just got it done fearlessly. It was incredible. So I was really impressed by that, and I started to look into this modality of healing for myself. When I was on my honeymoon in the year 2000, I had two self hypnosis tracks with me. They were cassettes that the hypnotherapist shared with me after my sister's session. And she let me kind of pick out any topics that seemed like they would be helpful for me. And one of them was back pain because I had been suffering pretty tremendously with back pain. And it was suspicious. I really hadn't injured myself. Um, I was working in an office and I would suffer most days all day. There's only so much Advil for that. And during my honeymoon, I was incapacitated with this back pain. It just kind of flared up, so to speak. And while everyone's out at the pool and the buffet and soaking up the Jamaican sunshine, I was in the beautiful hotel room by myself. And I decided I had nothing to lose, so I popped this cassette track into my Sony Walkman cassette player and I listened to this self hypnosis recording. I didn't know I was in for a huge transformation. But after becoming very relaxed, this recording just took me to some places in my imagination that helped me to identify the source of this pain, which turned out to be emotional. And by acknowledging really the guilt that I had inside for living my life and having so much to celebrate and having a career and having a home and being in love and ultimately what I learned was that I didn't feel like I deserved to kind of have this great life when I knew that I had younger siblings at home that were going through a really hard time. And the emotional pain of knowing that they weren't with their mother and that I wasn't there either. I just kind of felt like I should be there. But I couldn't reconcile the two because you can't be in two places at once. So I loved my siblings dearly and greatly, and I still do. And I'm really thankful for that deep, deep love and that deep connection. But I was allowing it to be a poison inside of me because I wasn't letting myself live my life, and this kind of emotional pain was just debilitating me. And by listening to this recording, not only did I acknowledge where it came from, I gave myself the space to have compassion for myself and kind of step back and see that it's okay and that I'm going to do the best that I can to help my family, of course, and I'm going to show them all the love in my heart. And I had to kind of also have compassion for myself and give myself permission to live and enjoy and embrace the moment. And I have to share with you, this is maybe the seventh time that I've recorded this story because I just completely broke down every other time in deep, deep tears. I want to expose myself and be vulnerable, but at the same time, I want to be clear and I want to be professional. So, take number 7, here it goes. Um, the beauty of self-hypnosis is just that. It's there for us when we want it. It's on our terms. Um, could I have benefited from a therapist? Sure, I could have. I'm sure we all can. But what I had at my in my toolbox, some resources, was a self hypnosis recording. And it was just simply a hypnotherapist putting me into a relaxed, meditative, sleep like state where you basically, your critical factor, your consciousness is on vacation for a minute, and you get to have direct access to speak to your inner mind, and whether that's your own voice on a recording or that of a professional hypnotherapist, or pay attention here, or even the music that you're listening to. Music has so much power to make us feel something or relive something. So we want to use it for healing and not not the opposite of that. So if you find that certain music will take you back to a place that was dark for you and it's not appropriate to be mourning or obsessing on those thoughts, that's up to you to make those good choices. But certainly, music puts us into a hypnotic state, and then the message then can come right through into our to the deepest parts of our mind. So, and that can be used in a positive way. Maybe you turn on music from when you were a teenager and you feel like a teenager. That's a really beautiful thing. Our senses remember, and certainly music helps us tune into a certain frequency. And so does a self hypnosis recording. In some self hypnosis recordings, I call them hypnotic meditations. I think that self hypnosis is not a term that many people understand in the mainstream if they're not already a student of hypnosis. I think they do understand hypno for hypnotic and meditation as a state of mind, and hypnotic meditation being meditation with an intent or a purpose. And that's exactly what self hypnosis is. It's going into a trance like state, whether it's you inducing that trance yourself with breathing techniques or focused attention, or if it's simply by following the instructions and allowing a voice to go with you and to take you to that place where you can unlock your imagination, where you can program your mind for the life that you want to have, or sometimes uncover root causes. I am a huge fan of suggestion therapy. I don't love the idea of digging around into the deepest recesses of our mind. I think it's okay to introduce new thoughts and new coping mechanisms, and just like an old cassette tape, if you're from that generation, what did we used to do? Put tape over the little holes, and that would allow us to go ahead and record over or overwrite the tape. Maybe we, took our brother's Metallica tape and recorded some pop songs off the radio on top of it, something like that. So That's what we want to do with our inner mind. We want to overwrite the programs that no longer serve us with new ones that do. So, so self hypnosis allows us to do that, and certainly hypnotherapy allows us to do that, and that can be more customized and more tailored for your exact situation and customized for your triggers and your routines and patterns to work with your daily life. Maybe even add some anchors and add some new and healthy triggers. So that's all. The sky is the limit when you're accessing the inner mind and communicating with it and programming it. And and the funny thing is about the inner mind is it loves that. It's what it's designed to do. It's designed to run the program, and your programs are very much so fixed by the time you're 5 years old. So we just relive things over and over. We relive our trauma, we relive our relationships. I mean, you can see patterns in people. It's just new person, same thing. New year, same thing. We just kind of run in these loops. But when someone gives you the master key to break inside that loop and reprogram, um, so upgrade if when the new OS comes out, we want to upgrade. We want to have the best operating system possible. So that's what hypnosis allows us to do, and particularly self-hypnosis. So back to the year 2000, when I was on that trip, I was so liberated by the freedom that I had felt from listening to this recording only one time, which was tremendous. Like the fact that it's still such a crystal clear experience that is with me today, and that was 20 and a half years ago. um, it made such an impression on me that I felt convicted on that trip that this was such a gift and such a rapid healing that I wanted to share it with the world. And I felt that I wanted it to be my definite major purpose in life. And so I went ahead and pursued my education with the New England Institute of Hypnotherapy, and in 2001 became recognized by the American Board of Clinical Hypnotherapy. And it's been quite a journey since then. Some places in my own life that I've used hypnotic meditations, or also known as self hypnosis recordings, has been for multiple things. So, for one, becoming a morning person, that was. I laughed so hard when I listened to the self hypnosis recording. At first time, it just didn't even seem plausible that I could be a morning person. So I would just kind of listen to this recording, but it broke me down in a good way, and it went into my inner mind. And I am a morning person to this day now. I look forward to morning. I often lay in bed at night and I kind of daydream about how delicious that first cup of coffee is going to be when I wake up in the morning. And I don't have to hit the snooze a million times. Sometimes I do if it's cold, but I love to jump out of bed and start the day. And as Carole King says on her Tapestry record, to wake up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love that's in your heart. That is my definite major purpose in life. That right there. Carole King. Wake up every morning with a smile on my face and show the world all the love in my heart. That is that is it. And I have a record player with that record on it, and when I wake up in the morning I play that song and the one that comes after, um, Way Over Yonder. And I'm so thankful that that recording turned me around, because I had told myself stories that I'm a night owl. I told myself stories that I get my energy at night. I told myself stories that I don't wake up till lunchtime. All of these things that may have been true at one time, but these stories, they go on forever as loops in our mind. So that's just one. Another one was when I was about 27, I decided it was time to get fit. I wanted to make sure that I was healthy before 30. And it's funny, I'm kind of like almost 40 now, and I did the same thing. Like, time to, get crazy about health because, you're going to turn a corner there. And I always want to turn the corner feeling confident and strong and optimistic. So I noticed that pattern with myself. I kind of do that at the turn of a decade. Um, a couple years before, I prepare myself for that. So that's a positive loop that replays in my life. And of course, that's only something that I'm aware of now that I've, studied NLP and hypnosis and all of those kinds of things. So, anyway, yes, waking up early in the morning and then getting healthy. As far as exercise, so I would listen to a fitness motivation, and boy, I went to the gym just absolutely faithfully for years and incorporated movement into my life in a way that I never had before. And it was truly because I programmed myself to do it, and I overcame all the odds. Um, I would I'll spare you what I used to do. But what I used to do is whatever it took to make sure I was at the gym 4 days a week, and I was. So I was thankful to kind of incorporate movement and exercise into my health and my life. So that was another time. For test taking, I've had to pass several tests in my career paths, and the anxiety of that can can be crushing. So I was able to successfully pass all the tests on the first try with using positive suggestions there. And for sales, during certain parts of my sales career to reach insurance targets, I listened to a variety of different self-hypnosis and motivational materials, and they were super effective, and I achieved all my targets. So I could go on and on about how there's a recording for everything. And the best part is that it's so easy. I love when I can accomplish something by not doing anything. It's like making passive income, right? Like you wake up and you made money. That's probably the best thing ever. Well, how cool is it that you're relaxing and programming your mind for a healthier you, and a you that maybe sees the world through rose-colored glasses if you want to, um, or not. That might not be for you. But to program yourself for vitality, for youth, for anti-aging, for being present in the moment, present with your family, prioritizing your time, anything your heart desires, really. I have a recording that helps me to love cleaning. I mean, why do we resist everything in life that we have to do? If we're gonna do it, we have to do it, and we should do it. Wouldn't it be cool if we wanted to do it? Remember, maybe this is not true for you, but when I was a kid, I wanted to do anything. Like, could I mow the lawn? I thought that was cool. If I could push the lawnmower, I just thought that was cool. I wanted to do it. I would get to do it. So, and of course, the novelty wears off. But if you can go at life with that enthusiasm, I get to be healthy. I get to take my vitamins in the morning. I get to wake up. I get to sleep in sometimes. I get to wake up early. I get to clean and organize my house or my car or whatever space that I need to make peace with, to shift our mindset in this way. And you can just only imagine the way that that affects every part of your experience. And one of the other fun things about self-hypnosis and hypnotic meditation recordings is the use of metaphors. Metaphors are magic for the mind, and I have so many, and I have a huge giant red book of hypnotic suggestions and metaphors for every subject and ailment and idea. And I love to study metaphors because they provide a picture for your mind and your inner mind. It speaks in pictures and in feelings, and metaphors invoke that in the deepest, best way. So, so I'm excited about the changes that I've been able to make in my life through the use of hypnotic recordings. And although I have produced them before, now in this new and digital age, I want to put a deeper emphasis on sharing with you some visualizations and some hypnotic suggestions and some healthy affirmations. So look for more of those to come. Some of them will be for sale. You can click on the shop tab, and from time to time, we'll do some freebies and some fun mini hypnotic meditations on the podcast. So I want to thank you so much for listening, and excited that I got to share a little bit of my journey with you, and a little bit about just imagining the different kinds of problems that reprogramming your mind can solve. When you're overwriting the old program with the new one, the sky's the limit. So sleep on that, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.